Hey, what's up, second cousins? It's Kyle and Peach here from a closet.
Closet cousins coming at you.
A very nicely adorned closet, I might say here. We have the Jalen Suggs autographed here. Very nice. Peach is wearing the Deutschland Franz Wagner signed. It's a good thing.
Get the back.
Okay, I'll get it. Oh, there it is.
Thanks to Jay and Erica for getting me this when we went out today to Game Time Cards.
Yep.
If you're interested in them, they're there. Tell them the Core Cousins sent you.
Tell him Jay sent you too, so he can get a discount as well. But we're really here to react to the Kings game, which we went to tonight as well.
Okay, all right.
We are, wearing our net here. You have a nice net necklace. I have a net earring here.
A necklace.
It's a netless.
Yeah.
Okay. And we cut down the nets after a victory against the Pelicans for Core Cousins night because the Magic know not to lose on Core Cousins night.
They do. They go harder.
Yeah, they know we're in town. But tonight, unfortunately, didn't have the juice to finish the game. The Magic fall.
They did go hard.
Yeah, a little too hard maybe. 109 to 107 to the Sacramento Kings, a really good team from the West. I think they're in 8th place now, or they were. It's so tight in the West. That one game, you go from 3 to 8. It's even crazier over there than it is in the Eastern Conference. But I mean, the lead for me is the Jonathan Isaac game. We just saw the Jonathan Isaac game, Pete.
Right. That's got to be a career high. I don't know if we have that stat or not, but that was an impressive offensive game from him. Yeah. He also played well defensively, but at this point, you come to expect it. You don't expect 23 points?
25 points.
25 points?
On 10 of 13 shooting.
Bananas.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't expect that every night, I don't think either.
I mean,
I know you want to.
Look, I want to. I really do because – hey, he's coming back. We're even seeing the stat floating around. First 24 games, he's shooting under 30% from beyond the arc, 45% or something like that. These last 24 games, he's shooting over 40% from three, even better from the field. And you saw it again tonight. It's beginning to look kind of real. And for Isaac believers out there, it was always this because it was that 3 years ago, Isaac, before he tore the ACL, Euro stepping through the lane, where he was adding those Euro steps. He was adding that baseline turnaround jumper, which we saw multiple times tonight. The offensive package was coming together along with a potential defensive player of the year candidate, which was why guys like me at that time were like, oh no, we got Jonathan Isaac. He's the Giannis stopper, and we can do, he's our guy.
I never expected him to have any offensive game. Every time he shoots a three, I'm like, what are you doing out there? Stop it. But he was shooting well tonight, so if it's flow. I really just need him to do big man shit, and he's been doing that and splendidly, and playing back-to-back games, by the way. So played both games we were here.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, there was a break in between, but yes, 2 games after each other, he did play them.
I have seen 3 Magic games in person. He played them all, I'm just saying. So It's a step in the right direction. It's where he wanted to be, right? Like, he's definitely a super factor when he's out there on the court. Mm-hmm. He's playing way better than Wendell right now. And look, I'm not the only one that's talked about it here on this program and other places. You hear the scuttlebutt in the crowd, especially when J.I. has a game like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully that motivates Wendell to step up as well, because if Isaac's going like this and it gets playoff time, you got to flip them.
Yeah. I mean, what's most important is who's finishing the game. Yeah. And tonight, J.I. was finishing the game. Was Wendell out there? No, I guess it wasn't. It was Cole, J.I., Paulo, Franz, Suggs. Yep. But let's talk. I mean, the end of the game, it was back and forth throughout the game, but the end of the game is really where we gave it up. The last minute of the game, we were up by 1, was it? When Jalen Suggs comes and that was
bumps old boy
with the little hand check at the hip. And De'Aaron Fox, oh my goodness, and then is going to backcourt the ball, but the referee saves him, not blowing the whistle at the time of the foul, but blowing the whistle at the time of what would have been a backcourt violation, which, you understand why the referee does that. You hate it if it's for us, but it was a hand check. Yeah. And Jalen just has to be better. You can't hand check a guy literally the furthest away he can be from the net while still on the offensive side of the floor.
They don't call it if it's not going to be a turnover.
No.
I mean, and that motivates referees to make calls sometimes. If it's a turnover, it results in lost possession, then you got to call stuff. But let's be honest, I think he was kind of losing his balance, that little brush.
He was.
It's not a big deal. But of course, okay, they called it, right? But we still had plenty of chances to answer in this one, and it just wasn't there. The wild 3-shot sequence.
Was that before or after the hand check? Was that right after?
No, that was
Right before,
after because then we were down.
Yeah, so
we were up when the foul happened.
We had 3 looks at it that possession after. De'Aaron Fox goes up. He hits 2 free throws, puts them up by 1. Damn, that was the go-ahead.
Yes.
That's
what's aggravating about it.
That is so bad. We were winning.
On that little ticky-tack foul, and that's why it feels bad, although probably a foul at the end of the day.
No, it was a foul.
But we had opportunities. Some open shots were missed. It was a wild sequence. And then we fouled the young rookie who we learned about yesterday when we ran into one of the Sacramento Kings coaches at the bar we were watching the game at. Talked to him for a while. He told us this Ellis kid was going to be starting. And he started and he played well, but he opened the door. He left the door open by only hitting 1 free throw at the end because now it's a 2-point game. We got a timeout. There's 2 seconds left, right? And honestly, I wish I had more to say about it because they didn't run a play. I don't know what the play was. I don't know if it got busted up.
You mean the play wasn't Paolo fading away from the net?
Right. Usually when you run a play, it should be towards the basket or for an open shot. That was neither. And it's a weird play. We didn't need a 3 either, and it seemed like they were kind of just like settling for the 3. We could have just gone for the 2 and gone to the tie if you get a good bucket. I said it to many people I talked to after the game, so I'll say it here on the show. Look, J.I.'s having a game, right? Let's run a lob. Throw the ball up. Sabonis going to get up as high as him at the rim? I doubt it. You know what? If it fails, we all would have been like, hey, cool. J.I. had a chance to play God
today.
To the hot hand. Why not? Go to the hot hand. Yeah. But going to a fadeaway 3, then he got it, and it was almost like he was like, oh, shit, I got to go now. It's like, yeah, man, you just took a timeout, and it's 2 seconds. Like, it wasn't like they just made a basket and then had to go. They had time to draw up the play. There was a timeout. People sat. They probably watched commercials at home. Yeah. Draw something up. Like, draw up a backup play, too, if the first one doesn't work. I'm confused when basketball at this level. Well, what happened there? Like, what? And I don't think we're ever really going to get a true answer of like what went wrong. But that can't have been the play. Just give it to Paolo and let him just try to hit a fade.
Moving away from the basket.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't even a super hot hand, so it's sort of like, what is that move? Like, if he's open, great. If you make a play and he's open, give me that. I just want someone to get an open shot. And if the last effort was okay, I just give it to him and let him gun one up. I'm not super satisfied with that.
Yeah, and the other thing that was coming under a lot of criticism was the play before that we referenced where we had 3 opportunities at it. At one of those rebounds, let's call a timeout. Let's get a play because it was just kind of chaotic. I mean, we
wouldn't have had the one at the end.
That's fair. That's fair.
You always do want to kind of leave yourself one, especially when you get down
in that moment.
So I think that's probably what they were thinking is just try to scramble for a bucket, get it. Because they're only down 1 at that point. So.
Right. But as you said, lots of opportunities. Looking at the team box score, we'll finish this up because Pisha's arm is getting tired holding this. Forgot our tripod.
You know my arm. Look at the guns.
Oh, yeah.
Gun shows out in Florida, baby. They're legal here.
I mean, 28% from beyond the arc. If we had one of those, 10 of 35, give us 11 to 35. We win that game. Looking at the free throw disparity, they get to the line 21 times, hit it 18. We get to the line 18 times, only hit 13. Give us a couple of those, get to the line a little bit more.
Tight, everything matters.
Exactly.
Everything matters.
Yeah, you're right. I can point to all this shit.
There's a lot of stuff you can point to. But, like we were talking about with Yachty, and we'll get to other people we caught up with in a minute before we close. But, we need games like that. He said we need games like that. We need to have some playoff atmosphere games like that before we get to the playoffs, and that was one of them. It didn't go our way. Right. But that's good experience for the future to not do that play at the end of the game. You have 2 seconds. So,
absolutely.
Every misstep, just like in life, you learn a lesson and you move on and hopefully you grow stronger from it. And look, our team's done that every step of the way. I've been doing this podcast for 3 years now. We've seen nothing but growth going forward. They've learned from mistakes. They've gotten the right guys in there. Guys have gotten better. There's no reason to believe that it won't continue, Magic fans. So do not be disappointed about this loss. It's going to be a small part of the journey to where we want to be. So sleep well.
Well said, Reese. Well said.
You're about to sleep, so
yeah. I got my sleeping cap on, my gnat, which is a net hat. Since you have a necklace. Anyways.
But yeah, look, we came to Orlando. We knew what we came to do. We cut down nets. I got a souvenir cup. We got jerseys. We We met new people. We saw people we saw last year. I mean,
it ended with a loss,
That's
but
what
it
you're
was
for.
a victory for the Court Cousins out here tonight. Thank you,
Was.
everyone who stopped us at the arena and said, hey, thank you for doing what you're doing. It's a great affirmation. We really appreciate it.
Mhm.
It was really nice to hear. JT coming over and talking to me about the check-ins, the psychological check-ins, and
Right.
Brian, who hooked us up with a drink last year, seeing us out there, and just, Jay and Erica and Raph and Megan and Al and Catherine and all the guys, Yachty, of course, Cortez, everyone that showed us some of what Florida has to offer in the way of hospitality. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's hard to put it into words. Sometimes you got a lot going on in your life, and it's hard to think about. Does it matter? And when I'm walking around Dallas in an ice rink, nobody gives a shit. And I don't think many people give a shit when you're teaching kids in Connecticut either. Once in a while, you get a few kids on.
Well, the students are on it a little bit.
It's weird that no one knows about this part of our life. So it's cool when we come here and actually get recognized a little bit for at least what we're doing. And so I really appreciate that. It helps put fuel in the tank to keep it going and keep it going in a good way. And I'm glad that to finally meet Jay while we were here. We hung out with him quite a bit. First Puerto Rican food I've ever had today, thanks to him and Erica.
Yep.
That was excellent as well.
Peach is opening doors.
And he's going to be kind of joining the team a little bit, doing wrap-ups more with Kyle. And it's good that, a lot of people ask me, they're like, you guys don't do wrap-ups anymore. And I'm like, well, we do. Here's one. And there's some other ones back there. It's not always me, but he's always here. And,
we're trying our best. And we appreciate y'all. So much love. Thank you so much, Florida. Thank you, Orlando. Peace out from me.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Fish.